Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of PowerDrift QuickEase, where we'll give you a quick download of brand new car. In this case, behind me is the new Hyundai Alcazar. It's a facelift Hyundai Alcazar, not a brand new car as such. And we are at the Hyundai factory. So actually, this is being recorded much before the launch. It's going to come live on the same day as the launch, so you can get like an updated version, stay updated with what the new car is all about. Okay, let's just hop straight into it, right? What's new on the Alcazar? Now obviously what's new on the Alcazar will be similar design elements like we got on the Creta just a few months ago. What was it? December, January, the new Creta came about. Now you do get the same sort of design, just general language. You get the H style daytime running lights and like you get on the Extra and the Creta, and then you get the same sort of squared out stance and look that you've got on the Creta, on the Extra, on the Ioniq, and on a whole bunch of other international Hyundai cars. I particularly like this. It's a nice creased bonnet. It looks a little bit more muscular overall. And then of course you've got the brand new bumper design as well. Now it looks really nice from the front. When we go to the rear, there are some things that I might not like, but we'll get to that in a bit. Let's sort of get the camera here. New wheels, of course. Let's take the sticker out and make it look even nicer. There you go, nice sort of brushed aluminum and black finish 18-inch wheels, and you've got the same sort of design language running on the bottom as well. Now, this color is of course something that we've seen on Kia cars in the past. Hyundai, not so much, but now you get it on the Alcazar as well. I really like it, of course. It is very, very difficult to maintain, but you can do a satin or matte PPF on this, or if you want to go really wild, you can do gloss PPF on this, but then it sort of defeats the purpose of the whole car. Right, of course, Creta has that slightly controversial little C-pillar. This doesn't. It's have a nice big glass pane and sloping B-pillar, C-pillar, but still nicely integrated. You know what I'm hinting at, guys? Nicely done. Okay, let's get into those little big changes now. Things I like. Let's start with that first, okay? I like the overall bits in the tail lamp. In fact, just wait a second because I'm going to start the tail lamps up. Now the tail lamps are on. I like these little bits, the way they're lit up. I like this sort of design element as well. I've always been a fan of connected tail lamps, and I like this. Again, the Alcazar logo is now embedded into the tail lamp, so it's sort of behind this pane of glass. Nice little thing, but this, why is this here? Because it's this sort of aluminum finish. I mean, apart from the badge, which it matches, it doesn't really match anything else because this is silver, this is aluminum, the badge is aluminum, and this little bit here is a little random. Now, the other thing that is random, I'm not a very big fan of, are these. Now, usually people like these, people put these aftermarket, but in this case, look at this little design element here. It's just a little step up, which is sort of almost like an afterthought. I don't like this much. The first thing I saw when I saw this car was this, and it stood out like a sore thumb. So, I mean, generally nicely designed facelift, nice design update. Exactly like we got with the Creta, big but sort of visual update on the overall car, but there are some bits and pieces that I'm not a fan of. Again, look, it's just so much of a visual bulk, so much of a chunk that is different here. Okay, I'm gonna head inside because there are some updates on the interior as well, like we got on the Creta. So let's cut here and then move on the inside. Okay, first things first, it's got a new color palette. So even though last Alcazar was brownish in color, now it's this brown, almost tan-like. We're gonna turn it off. It's gonna beep a little bit now, so excuse us for that. But it's got this little tan-like thing, and it's got a dark navy blue. Let's turn off the AC, which you have to do on a little touch into the panel. Okay, there we go. So brown and dark navy blue. Now it doesn't look dark navy blue in on video, and to be very, very honest, the press pictures look dark navy blue. In real life, it just looks dark gray. Okay, it looks like tan and dark gray. It almost looks like something from a few years ago, color palette wise, but I believe this is like a different color as compared to black or dark gray. So I mean, if under the correct lights it might look navy blue, it just looks black to me. Overall though, you get the same sort of dual pane structure like you get on the Creta. This is very, very popular with a lot of people. And then there are some major upgrades. Now remember, the Creta is a bit of a driver's car still, or people who sort of self-drive are buying the Creta. This one, on the other hand, isn't. This is a bit of a chauffeur-driven car, right? Because it's got 7 seats, it's got a larger back, so people do tend to sit in the back seat a lot more. And also, something that I've really noticed is a lot of people who do extended road trips, a lot of people who like to go on road trips with their friends, buy an Alcazar over a Creta because of the added space and the added 7 seats. So, what are the other features that you get? First and foremost, you get memory seats for the driver, which is great because it's sort of easy access. It's not on the bottom of the seat, so it's easy to sort of press. You get ventilated seats for both the front seats, and guys, you get ventilated seats for the rear as well. Which means I can finally buy something like this, hire a driver, put my ass in the back, put the ventilated seats on, lay down flat as far as I can go, and then Rohan can take as many pictures of me and put them on his Instagram because Cyrus sleeping in a car, you know the trend. Let's go to the back though. Okay, so I am going to move this seat all the way back. Here we go. First things first, okay? Adjustable under thigh support. Very, very important. Something that the Alcazar missed in the past. And the Alcazar, again, is the only one that gets these sort of captain seats. And it's really comfortable at the back. There we go. Nice and laid back. Okay, first and foremost, ventilated seat button is on the door here. So again, easy access. As you can see here, I'm going to sort of hold the camera for just a second and show you this, because you can actually control the front passenger seat here. You can fold it, you can take it forward, which means when people sit with their chauffeurs driving there, in the back seat here, they're going to be super, super comfortable. I'm going to have Arun take the camera once again, because that's the whole point of the Alcazar, right? It's supposed to be for rear seat passengers. That's why you've got the whole sort of captain seat thing going on here, and it's a more comfortable car. It's sort of bigger as well, and you get these nice new headrests. You know what this reminds me of? The Kodiaq, because the Kodiaq had those little foldy things that came down. These, oh my god, these are phenomenal. And I'm not playing for the camera like I never ever do. These are some of the best headrests on any budget car that I have ever experienced. I'm not even making this up. You have to see this, or you have to sort of figure this out in person, because this is just a really, really nice little piece of kit. It's nice and soft as well. And look, even the design of the seat in general is sort of very upmarket. This car now looks and feels a lot more upmarket than it ever has, which is a good thing. Now, engine options, of course. Actually, you know what? We'll go out and see this. Engine options continue to be and the 2-liter diesel. Yes, I'm going to go back. Anyways, we're here. So engine options continue to be the 1.5-liter petrol turbo and the 2-liter turbo diesel. Sorry, the 1.5.
1.5.
Completely blanked out there. And of course, you have the automatic gearbox and the manual gearbox with DCT, and you have a non-turbo version of the car as well. So overall, let's go in the front. Overall, this seems to be a very, very good choice that Hyundai has made for somebody who wants a chauffeur-driven car, or even somebody who wants to drive themselves. But again, the whole point of the Alcazar is right here. It's not in the front. So if you sit back there, put these nice blinds up. There you go, blinds up. Lean the seat back a little bit. Put the ventilated seat on and make space there if you're sitting on that side. More kit than the BMW 5 Series. Controversial statement, but it is true. Right, so tell me what you think of the Hyundai Alcazar. We will get you a proper drive review of this very, very soon, sometime late October. And again, if you're watching this, this car is already launched by now, so we will put the price in the description below. So have a look at that and tell us what you think of the new Hyundai Alcazar. There you go. PowerDrift QuickEase wrapping up right now. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the comments.